Are you over the age of 40 and have that pregnant belly look when you're clearly not pregnant? Oh man, gut health after 40 is something else. And I personally had a rude awakening. It's been very eye-opening for me and just another reminder of like how much changes for us as women after 40. I started noticing all these gut issues a few years right before 40. And then the closer I got to 40 and then after, it's gotten way worse. The bloat was out of control. My gut easily became sensitive and irritated. I would feel so uncomfortable after most meals. And my stomach was always sore. I would wake up with a sore stomach. Foods that once didn't bother me now were a problem. I really had to start thinking about what I'm eating. If I was going to go out, where am I going? What could I eat there? Or otherwise, I would have to really be prepared for the consequences and what was going to happen after. I honestly had no idea it was my gut at first. I started with this bulge in my midsection. I thought, oh, this is like what they talk about. You get older and you start to gain weight. I had that mom pooch that I actually like worked off really hard in my 30s and it was back. That sound familiar to any of you? Over the last year, I've really taken a deep dive into my gut health because besides that I'm over 40, I just want to have a better understanding of my body and in this situation, my gut. So one of the biggest factors I found out that is changing is our gut microbiome. So I didn't even know what that word was till I started doing my research. So your gut microbiome is really a combination of good and bad bacteria that are sitting in our intestines. And the balance of both really help us to have good overall health. So as we get older, of course, just like everything else, it decreases and there's an imbalance in our microbiome. So there's also a decrease in our digestive enzymes in our stomach as we age. So that acid from the digestive enzymes really helps break down food. But this too also decreases, which can't break down our food properly. And this is a big deal. This is why we feel so uncomfortable after food. Hormones, again, also play a big role, just like they do in everything else. Like I feel like as women, hormones are always haunting us. We can't seem to get away from it. There's a whole bunch of hormones that actually like are in our gut and they play an active role in there. So they all like really work together and they provide different functions. Just a few of them is like gastrin, which helps break down food. Motlin moves food through the digestive tract. We have gherkin, which stimulates appetite, but then we also have GLP-1 that reduces appetite and creates insulin. So that's just a few, but they all get so out of whack and they don't function properly. And each one starts to become deficient again. So I can really, truly lose my mind trying to understand all the hormones and how they function and how to balance them out. It always seems to be a science experiment just to figure that part out alone. I'll definitely have a video to come on hormone and women hormones in the future, but medications is another one that plays a big role with our gut health change. Medications actually destroy our gut. And I think that's a side effect that we don't talk about enough. And can you imagine like women that have been on long-term medications, how much it's impacted their gut? Wow. So those are just a few of the things that are really changing when it comes to our gut health over time. And like I said, it's just like such a balancing act, just trying to understand it and then adjust. In our 20s and our 30s, gut health really isn't a priority. It's like rarely an issue unless you have like celiacs or gluten allergy. And it's just like at the age of 40, it becomes so crucial and imperative to our health. So first of all, I think most people, including myself, don't understand the significance of the gut. So our gut is actually our second brain. Like think about how important your brain is. Like that's how important your gut is. And your gut and your brain, they actually they talk to each other. I have this really great book that I refer to quite a bit. It's called The Mind Gut Connection. I really recommend you getting this book and really just helping you understand. I go back to this all the time, but it'll help you understand that connection. And our gut really just, it plays a role in overall health, but also just like all the little intricacies and different facets of health. Some obvious ones we've already talked about, like digestive health. And then another piece of that is just your ability to absorb nutrients and really being able to give your body what it needs. Immune health is also related to good gut health. Mental health, that's a huge one. We all want to mentally feel good, and the gut actually produces serotonin. So there's a lot of links between the gut and mental health issues. Another huge one of why our gut health is crucial is just being able to eliminate toxins. Think about how many women, maybe you're one of them. I know I've been one of them that struggle with regularly eliminating and are constantly constipated. I think that's like the number one gut issue I hear about the most. That toxin buildup causes bloating and just so much discomfort. Some other important ones, like when it comes to weight management, is just really being able to stabilize your blood sugar levels, how our body stores fat, and then all the hormones that just hang out in the gut. There's also skin issues, sleep, inflammation, chronic illness. There's so much that is connected, and the gut is really the root and core to a lot of it. So when we can get to a healthy gut, we can fix a lot of issues that we're dealing with and just feel better. But the question is, how? Like, how do we start working towards a healthy gut? Well, here's what I've learned. We're not one size fits all, but there are some basic things that all of us can start with that I've been playing around with for the last several years. And I finally feel like in the last 5 months, I've gotten a really good handle on my own gut health, and I truly do feel amazing. There's nothing better than feeling amazing. And I really want that for you too. So as always, one thing I always come back to when it comes to health is diet. And it's no different when it comes to our gut health. So our diet is everything and really impacts us feeling good or feeling bad. The first step you want to do is eliminate processed foods. And then I would ease into eliminating dairy and gluten, because both of those categories of food are highly processed in the world that we live in now. Now, I know this can be tough to get rid of foods that you really love. Like if you're somebody like me that loves cheese, I get it. Eliminating the stuff you love can be hard, but I do have it from time to time. It's just not part of my day-to-day, normal, everyday diet. And the question I really had to ask myself is, do I want to eat these foods and feel uncomfortable, or do I want to eat foods that make me feel good? And I think we all know what the obvious answer is there. So another underestimated remedy is simple hydration and making sure that you are hydrated. Hydration can actually help a lot of areas in your health. But when it comes to your gut, it really just helps things moving along in the digestive system and relieving constipation. Most people are walking around this earth severely dehydrated and they're miserable. So just getting some hydration, getting water in your body makes you feel more energetic, but just feel good. Another way to improve your gut health is through supplements. I'm a big believer in supplements, especially as we age after 40. In fact, my motto is I'm good with spending the money now on supplements, so I don't have to spend the money later on health issues. I think like so many people have a hard time accepting that, but supplements really help us with areas that we're deficient in our body, but they also speed up the process. They enhance the process. So accept that. It's the boost that we all need after the age of 40. So some of my favorite supplements to help with gut health is fiber, taking fiber. I like to take a product called Treebiotic. It's a pre, pro, and postbiotic in one, and it really helps with repairing the microbiome. I also have this protocol that I do that's called a 5-day reset, and I do that about once a month or every other month, and I am addicted. I'm obsessed with it. It's a whole gut metabolic reset that helps you feel better mentally and physically in just 5 days. So a breakdown of that 5-day reset is coming. Stay tuned. I will link all the products that I have been using for my gut health in the description. Something new that I have dived into in the last several months is hydrocolon therapy, also known as colonics. Maybe you've done one before. I'll admit I was scared and hesitant for years. I've been wanting to do it for so long, but I kept putting it off till finally I ended up in the ER with a gut issue called colitis. And it was actually my husband that was suggested from the whole colitis incident that I needed to go get a colonic. So I'll tell you, it was instant relief. And it has had a dramatic impact on healing my gut. So if you really think about it, for 40 plus years, especially if you're a woman, you've had this buildup or even just toxins sticking to your gut lining and walls that's just been hanging out there. Like, it's really gross when you think about it. It's gross to think that this is inside my body. It's inside your body. So although it wasn't the most pleasant experience, and it wasn't terrible either, it was so worth the result. And definitely have a video to come on that too. I do get them pretty often now, about every other month, every 3 months. One last thing I would suggest is getting good sleep, especially some good deep sleep. Sleep is so crucial, just like hydration. It helps our body heal and repair overnight. And it's just a simple tool that is, again, majorly overlooked. You can definitely refer back to my video on good sleep after 40 to learn more about that. This can truly, all of this, be a science experiment, I keep saying, when it comes to what will help you heal your gut. There are things that worked for me and they may work for you. But all of these tips I've given you is a good starting point. But the way you get to your healthy gut is for you to start implementing and taking steps like the ones I've mentioned here. My suggestion to you is give it a good year. Figure out what your gut and body needs, because we're not one size fits all. And start working on your gut health so you can start feeling good after 40 like I am.